the right and left, because as you were saying, the pressure actually is on the shoulder. Because you sleep this way, and then with the pillow as well, it does strain the neck and part of your...
So more people sleep on the side than any. Face down is a no-no. On the back, people tend to spend a little bit of time on the back, but then they'll tend to favour a side. There's been a lot of talk about which is better, right or left. So I just go back to the physiology. Okay. So the left, I believe, is better for quite a few reasons. At night, there's quite a lot of stuff happening at night, and if you're fortunate enough to sleep well, you get into this deep sleep. That's when there's a lot of growth happening. The body releases growth hormone. There's a lot of repair going on. Testosterone initiates cell repair and growth. And your blood pressure drops when you're asleep. And that's when a lot of repair happens to your arteries. So people that tend not to sleep very well tend towards loss of health in many ways, actually.
That's right.
As a chiropractor, we're very interested in how the nervous system works. And people in Singapore get very stressed. So there's cortisol being released into their system all the time, which actually suppresses the immune system and the digestive system. And you must allow that to turn off. So there's another part of your nervous system called a parasympathetic. It's quite a long word, so I won't test you on that one.
Okay.
Parasympathetic, and that's the area. That's what when the stress response switches off, and that's when the repair and regeneration, digestion, immune response happens. So it's very important at night that you get into that comfort zone, so your parasympathetic nervous system can take over, because that's where health is good. If you want longevity and vitality, and you want your body to tend towards health and wellness, which is what everybody wants nowadays, then you've got to get into this area of deep sleep where I describe it as the good stuff happens.
That's right. Even time, right? Some people said to sleep like 10 o'clock, it's, onwards, it's the best time for self-repair. Because Singaporeans sleep very late. They even have supper. After supper, then they go home and they sleep, right? Yeah. Most Singaporeans sleep very late, and they are saying that, after 10, it's the best time, or 10 o'clock, it's the best time to sleep.
I'm from Europe. We sleep kind of late as well. I don't think it's the actual time. I think it's the quality of the sleep. There are sleep cycles, and you go into and out of deep sleep. And when there's an area of deep sleep when you get some REM, rapid eye movement, yes. And that's when the brain is doing a lot of stuff, actually. That's when the memories that you've made during the day actually get etched into your cortex. It's really important that you get into this time, so especially for kids, they've got to sleep well, because that's when their memories, that's when their studying becomes much more effective.
So you have advice how we get into deep sleep?
Yeah, you need to be comfortable, and you've got to create good habits. Life is we're creating habits in everything we do. So the way you go to bed, I think you should create good habits. I would. This is Singapore, and I reckon most people take their cell phone to bed.
That's
they
right.
probably lie in bed just going, checking the Facebook and all the social media sites in bed, and that's probably not the best thing to do. It's just stimulating. You need to get that phone away from you, and it's much better to pick up an old-fashioned book and just spend 10 minutes. This is what I'm trying to do with my kids. Sometimes I fight a losing battle, I think, but you've got to create good habits. You need a room that's dark. Again, I go back to physiology. You have something called a pineal gland in the brain, and when it's dark, that pineal gland is going to release melatonin. And you'll have heard of melatonin.
Yes,
Melatonin is the hormone that helps you sleep. It makes you drowsy, and that's suppressed when it's light, So if you have too much light jinking through the curtains, or you get on that cell phone lighting your face up, that's going to suppress the melatonin and it's going to prevent sleep. So you've got to create some good habits.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who wake up and they said the moment they wake up, they're already tired. Are there advice that you could give as well, besides good sleep and maybe good habits? Are there any other thing they need to look out for?
Yeah. Why are people tired? Not enough sleep. Yeah, that's one. But there's also things that just sap your energy all the time. Now, obviously, you've got my book there.
Yes.
Posture really does matter. If you don't have good posture, you have tightness. And tightness is tight muscle. That's muscle contraction. So what's happening? It's just draining your energy. If you've got tight muscles all the time, it is draining your energy. So that's one thing. And then obviously the stress of work and stress of life in Singapore, and driving on the motorways and the MRT and the stress of work. People apparently work the hardest in Singapore.
That's right.
Apparently that was confirmed by Gallup, so I have
Yes.
to take that seriously. Which means people are stressed, which means they have to have solutions to balance it. I mentioned it to you the first time I met, that disease, if you break that word down, dis-ease is a loss of ease in the system. And the Chinese talk about qi, and that's the flow of life force, of natural force, energy. And if you have blockages, then in the flow of energy, then this is a state where you lose harmony in your system, and then that is the state of disease. So in my world, a disease occurs, or it can happen, is when your body cannot re-establish balance. And again, we talked a lot about balance last time we spoke. And you've got many, many systems called homeostasis that bring you back to balance. And if they're not allowed to operate properly, then you will go into a state of dis-ease. And any disease that you want to mention, it will exist when the body hasn't been able to re-establish balance. So that could be cancer or anything. The body's got systems that can fight almost anything. But if you are stressed too long, if you have bad posture too long, if you have so much bad sleep that your system cannot re-establish the balance, you will go into disease.
I'm always very intrigued by the way you describe things and the way you advise us on health. So for those who are watching, we have 3-part series from Dr. Tim Errington, where he advises on good posture and how do we have good posture to build our inner health and to have inner health from inside out, where we can lead a healthy life, with some exercises in the 3-part series as well. Do watch that, because from there you will learn some exercises that can help you to have better posture and also to understand your health better.